What's up, guys, and welcome back. I'm back here at Gettle Hyundai in Lakewood, Florida, because I have this 2023 Hyundai Elantra SEL. Now today I'm going to take you on the full tour of this vehicle, so we're going to check it out from the exterior, interior, engine, test drive, the whole 9 yards. Before we do that, guys, I want to ask you a quick favor. Do me a favor, go to the right hand side of your screen. Right there at the bottom there's a little red button that says subscribe. Please help me hit my 10,000 subscriber goal by the end of this year. Now with that said, let's get back to this vehicle. What's up, guys? I didn't even realize that Hyundai Elantra is so old. Now, it was first introduced in 1990, and this is the 7th generation of Elantra. It's hard to believe, right? So if you're just waking up to Hyundai, this is probably one of their best-selling vehicles. And today we're going to take a look at this budget-friendly gas sipper. Yes, it is not going to break your bank. It's not going to break your bank at the pump. So let's get up close and personal with this vehicle. I like the design of it. Well, this is kind of the thing. It is love it or hate it. There's a lot of shapes. There's a lot of geometric shapes on this Hyundai. It's completely different. Like, you know, if you look at Kia, they're more polished, they're more rounded. This has got a lot of straight lines. So, I don't know, let me know what you think in the comment section below. What do you think about this design? So, if you look at the hood, okay, it does have the sharp lines, both on the sides, got kind of this triangle in the middle, big Hyundai logo. Fully LED daytime running lights right here, and the very nice lights over here as well. It does have this black grille in here. This is all open, allows for the air to get inside of it, help with the cooling of the engine, right? And everything else is wrapped with the color of this vehicle right here. It does even have the functional side vents right here to allow more air to go through for better aerodynamics, for better performance, and for helping with cooling off the brakes. Now let's see what powers up this thing. So we still have this 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. Now it produces 147 horsepower, 132 pound-feet of torque. It is naturally aspirated. Made it to what Hyundai calls an IVT, which is intelligent variable transmission. Now, as far as the gas mileage, that's where the good part is. This is a non-hybrid. It gets 30 in the city, 40 on the expressway, and it actually has been tested a little bit higher than that. So, I mean, this is certainly a gas sipper. As far as the rest of the hood compartment right there, or the hood itself, you do have some sound insulation, and you have this ugly prop stick that I think should be removed and replaced with the struts. Well, guys, when I talk to you about love it or hate it design, this is exactly what I'm talking about, especially pronounced on the side of this vehicle. It does have a lot of the creases in here. It kind of looks like this origami, if that's even the right and correct saying of that. But basically, that's what you see on the side. A lot of geometric shapes. As far as the rest of this vehicle, if you look at the wheels, the SEL comes standard with 17-inch alloy wheels, and that's what they would look like. Now, as far as the size of the tires, 225/45, that's your size of the tire. As far as the rest of this vehicle, you do have the mirror caps. They are painted the same color as the rest of the vehicle. You do have a blind spot assist, and that is pretty much it. I mean, you have all blacked out surroundings of the windows. This particular one's got the windows tinted, in case you were wondering. No, that's not how it comes from the factory. And now we're going to move back to see what the rest of it looks like. Again, this futuristic design continues in the back of this vehicle. So again, let me know what you think in the comment section below. What do you like, or what do you don't like about this vehicle? It is nicely sloped right here, and then there's pretty much a seamless transition between the glass and the hood itself. It is raised up a little bit at the very end, so I'm not going to say it does have like this ducktail spoiler, but it is raised up probably for a little bit better aerodynamics. You do see a rear view camera right on above this Hyundai logo, and then you have the strip of lights that basically connects both lights on the sides. Now these are not LED, they're still incandescent lights, but they do have the turn signals, the backup lights, the whole 9 yards. Now with the reflector lights right at the bottom, there's no visible exhaust, there's matte gray right at the bottom of this vehicle, Elantra spelled out, and there's no trims that is saying in here. Now this is an SEL, I would like to say it SEL. Now if we push this button right in the middle here, the trunk pops open. Let's see how much room we have here. It is a pretty massive trunk for the size of this vehicle. This one has an accessory floor mat for the trunk right here and a set of floor mats for inside of the vehicle. Now you do have a spare tire. This is a temporary used donut type of tire, but you do have the tools to remove it with. And then what else do we have as far as the seats? They do fold down, but it is one bench that folds down. There's no split like 60-40 or anything like this, and you can basically fold them down by unlatching them, pulling one of those latches, and there's one on either side of this vehicle. There's also a little fluorescent latch right here in case you get locked in the trunk. Another surprising fact about this vehicle is the roominess in the back. I can't tell you, this is probably one of the largest back seat in the compact vehicle. Now my knees are not touching the front seat, which is adjusted to my regular driving position. I'm 6 feet tall, I have plenty of shoulder room, I have plenty of knee room, I have plenty of headroom. The interior itself, I mean, that's fairly plain. Well, let me show it to you. As always, let's start with the door panel right here. It is pretty plain, nothing too crazy about it. There's really, a lot of touch points that are hard plastic, like this bottom part right here. The only thing that's not hard plastic is this middle inlay, which is kind of this vinyl material with some shapes inside of it, which is not a bad looking one. Now let's move on to the interior. As far as the seats, again, plain and simple. There's nothing too crazy about it. There's no middle armrest or console, nothing like this. There does have 3 seat belts in the middle. The third person will kind of be squished in here. As far as the backs of the seats, nothing on it, nothing in the middle console. I wish we had some connectivity up here as far as the USB, maybe vents for the back, but that again, it does not come standard with a lot of its competitors. So I guess it's consistent with its class. All right, let's open and shut the door to check the quality of it. It's actually pretty darn solid, I gotta tell you. Well, speaking of the door, I didn't mention that it does have a smart entry system. You can see this little button right here. I do have a key on me. If I push it, it's gonna lock the vehicle. If I put my hand inside of it, it is not gonna unlock it, so you still have to push it. So it's push on, push off type of deal. Anyway, let's take a look at this panel right here. So again, you have this inlay right on top of it. Now this one does have some contrast stitching, make it a little bit more interesting, and then you have this aluminum trim around the speaker. And then of course this one was tinted. Like I said, the tints don't come standard with it. It says do not roll down, don't wash for 3 to 5 days. So, but again, this is where your window mirror lock controls are. And right underneath here you do have a little bit more storage. Seats, they are manual adjustments on the seats. You can find your position fairly quickly though. So what we have here, folks, is a 2023 Elantra on the interior. And I gotta tell you, for all of those you non-believers, some of you questioned me before on which model year it is. It is a 2023 Elantra SEL. If you want to scroll down here, now one of the big features that is added on here is the convenience package, and I think that's what changed. It is more expensive, but it does include a lot more features than the standard convenience package that in 2022 was about 900 bucks. So you have the 10.25-inch navigation system with high resolution touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It is wired, unfortunately. We're going to go through that. And then you have a full 10.25-inch instrument cluster, electronic parking brake, wireless charging pad, heated front seats, heated side mirrors, the whole 9 yards. So this is part of that convenience package. If you do get the basic SEL, you will not get either one of these. This would be a completely different setup. So just to let you know. And this is probably the biggest change as far as where the options are on this vehicle, but we're going to take a look. And I'm actually happy that I do have this convenience package, because that's probably how I would option my Elantra if I was looking for one. So let's start with the steering wheel. Okay, it's nicely shaped. It is leather wrapped. It does have some trim underneath here, but makes it look a little bit more premium. You know, I wish they kind of continued with this premium look on the sides and maybe even on the back seats. That seems to be kind of forgotten. Now, it does have a lot of buttons on both sides of the steering wheel. You have the mode button on here, which is customizable, and it looks like the volume control, and then the little settings control. They have the pages button that basically controls what's going on in the middle there, right in the instrument cluster. You do have the lane keep assist, the cruise control, and that's dynamic cruise control settings right there. So Hyundai logo in the middle. Take a look at this 10.25 display, fully digital instrument cluster. I did check it out, and unfortunately it doesn't have my favorite features where you turn the steering wheel. It does not have this blind spot camera, which I think would be a fantastic feature to have on any vehicle. But let's take a quick look and see what else we have. So we do have a few different settings inside of here. So you can see that there is a navigation, there's a trip, then there is a lane keep assist. And then once you go to this trip meter, you can actually scroll up and down, and it does give you several different options like attention level, tire pressure, drive mode. By the way, if you were looking at this, let's see what drive modes are there. So there's smart, sport, and normal. And when you kind of switch them around, let's go back to this drive modes. See, the smart gets you like this bluish tint. Sport, normal, again, it's a bluish or white. And sport gives you that red tint on the gauges itself, the more aggressive mode. Now, again, this is mostly for the looks. There's really a very few differences between like driving in the sport mode or driving in the regular smart mode, but you know, nevertheless, it is here for those of you who like to think you have a sporty vehicle, right? So okay, 84 degrees outside. That's probably a little bit more than that, but it does have 1,000,000% humidity, which that's what measured. It says 2.3 miles per gallon, which is not very good, right? But the vehicle was idling for basically the entire time. So, I mean, that's why the gas mileage went down. 30 and 40, that's basically your gas mileage on this vehicle. Again, you have this 10.25-inch instrument cluster. Well, this is your infotainment system, rather, and it is touchscreen. So if you go to the home screen, you basically have the regular Hyundai menu in here. So map, navigation, phone projection. Again, you know, as far as the phone projections, the Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, because it is the bigger screen and it does have more features, it is actually wired, not wireless. You do have a climate control. You can change settings in here, so it is an automatic climate control. It is a dual zone climate control. You have a separate setting for the driver and passenger, and then this animation kind of tells you where the air is coming out of, etc. You can change the temperature. Can you change it over here? No, you actually have to change it with the dials at the bottom. I wish they kind of, if they still have the screen, might have updated the software and do it here as well. But let's go back to the home screen. So you have radio, media. You know, as far as the media, you do have the FM, AM, Sirius. You do have sounds of nature. So let's check out the sound. Let's do a rainy day today. It sounds just about like what was happening here about a few minutes ago when we got dumped on. So let's go back. Actually, you know, the one thing about the sounds of nature is you actually have to turn it off because it's going to play in the background the entire time if you don't do it. So you have a blue link, you have a setup. Let's see what the setup is. Vehicle navigation, sound, so you have different options for set up the screen layout. I think that goes to the, it linked to the drive mode. So like I said, it changes the colors on the screen, the screensaver. You can have a digital clock, analog clock, or none, or you have a split screen, and that's what on the right hand side of the screen, that's what's going to display if you go to your main menu right here. See, you can select the user profile right here, driver 1, and then right now, if you want to set it up, you can actually select of what's going on in the right hand side in here. So we've seen this infotainment system a few times. There's nothing that has changed since the last time I reviewed a Hyundai Elantra. Nicely incorporated vents in here. Now I like this interior. I like the overall kind of continuity of it as far as the vents. You've seen a little bit different design than on the Honda Civic, but kind of a similar theme. The vents kind of continue in this trim in the middle. Now in the Honda Civic is this honeycomb trim. This is more of like the 3 aluminum trims right in the middle. I do like this trim that's on top of here. This is kind of that sturdy vinyl or sturdy plastic, but it's not hard. It's kind of soft. It gives in a little bit. And this is all hard to touch material is over here. Now you do have a bunch of shortcut buttons, so you can see map, navigation, radio, media, power, volume knob, seek, track. This star button is the customizable button as well. And then you have a setup button at the end. It is a push start vehicle, and it comes with the smart key as well. The smart key, again, this is the new key for Hyundai. They've been making those for the last few years, and you can see it right here. So you have the lock, unlock, you have the hold for the remote starter, which is a great feature, hold to open the trunk, and hold for a panic button. And nothing too crazy about it, but it's nice, feels good to the touch, and it's got all the functions that you need. As I said, it does have the 2-zone climate control. You do have a heated seats with this convenience package, and then you have some shortcuts for the rear window defroster, front window defogger. You have the air recirculating button, etc. Does come with the wireless charging right at the bottom here, again part of this convenience package, and you do have the 12-volt power outlet. You do have 2 USB ports, one for charging, one for data. Now as far as the shifter, it's a nice shifter. I kind of like the design of this. Now I'm not sure if this is to prevent the passenger of messing with your shifter, or if this is for them to hold on to their dear life if you're going too fast, but kind of looks cool. So the shifter, it is a pretty good to the touch. It's solid. It does have this aluminum trim at the bottom, leather right here, and then you can put it in your manual mode if you like to, and shift the gears manually if that's what your flavor is, right? Now this is where you change the drive modes. That activates the camera, which we're going to take a look in a second. You do have a parking brake auto hold. Then you have 2 cup holders. Now this is cool, right? So if you have some drinks that are not as tall, you don't want them to fall all the way in there, that's the way you do it. Now if you want to switch it, you take this out, okay, and then you switch it, and look how much deeper it goes, right? So you have like a, well, I don't know if big gulp's gonna fit in here, but some large or venti drinks, you can fit those in here. And then you have the storage compartment, and that's it. Now since we're talking about the rear view camera, put it in right here, so you can see that divides the screen 2/3 and 1/3. And we can't get this camera full screen. Why not? I don't care about the navigation when I'm backing up. I don't need to know what I'm going. The fence is not going to be marked in here if I'm going to back it in here. Anyways, so it does have, the narrow and the wide angle right here, and then you have some settings for the display. As far as the display itself, yeah, it's okay. It's not the greatest. It's not the worst. Middle of the line, but essentially that's what you get in this class of a vehicle. So basically this is the interior of it. Let's take a quick look. Nothing too crazy about the mirror. You do have the incandescent lights in here, light controls, SOS, and the blue link. Now you do have the mirror that is not illuminated on either driver or passenger side, but both of us or both of you will have the mirrors right there. Actually, there is a little light right on top of here that you can turn on. That's an extra step. Who wants to do that? Guys, this is the interior of it. Let's take it for a spin. Let's take it for a spin. Before we do that, let's update you quickly on what's going on with the trims. Now, as of this filming, Hyundai has not updated their website to 2023, but from what I was talking to the guys, basically the trims are going to remain the same. It's the packages and what's in the packages that's going to be slightly a little bit changed. And so the SEL on 2022, it says it starts at $21,450. Now, on the sticker that I have in here, it says $21,750, so it looks like it is $300 higher than the previous year. And you know, if that's going to be true for all the rest of the model, I'm not sure. But the SE, which is the base one, starts at $20,020. I'm not sure if they're not dropping the SE for this year. The N line, which I've tested before, that one that has a little bit more powerful engine, well, quite a bit more powerful engine. It's got 201 horsepower versus 147. It does have the dual clutch transmission versus the intelligent variable transmission like the one that we have, and then the limited to 25,950. That's for 2022. If the prices are consistent, you're going to see about $300 increase for 2023. But like I said, there's no updates on it on Hyundai's website as of this filming of this video. So let's check out how it drives. One thing that I like to do is always find a space where I can turn this vehicle around and do a 360-degree circle, basically, just to see of how tight the turning radius is. And unfortunately for the dealers, but fortunately for me, there's plenty of room on dealers' lots to do that right now, just because they don't have much inventory. So I'm gonna do it right in here, turn the wheel all the way to the left and see how many spaces it takes. 1, 2, 3, and just a little bit. So let's do it again. So we have 1, 2, 3, and it doesn't even touch 4, so it's less than 4. It's very nice. It's very compact, if you will. You can turn this vehicle anywhere that you'd like to. You know, as far as the drive of this vehicle, I do have it in the sports mode. I gotta tell you, you can barely hear the engine. Like I said, it is not a sports vehicle, so we're not gonna try to test it out and try to race anybody. Basically, do a normal driving and get you my thoughts of what I think about it. I'm not even sure what the 0 to 60 is or what it should be, but like I said, you know, you can hear the engine working, right? But we got it up to 50 miles an hour on, so relatively quickly. I mean, definitely if you're looking for a vehicle like this and you're looking for the regular driving, see, that was me not turning the turn signals and switching the lanes. Bad guy, don't do it. So the lane keep assist reacted and gave me the warning. The noise that you heard was the warning, hey, you're switching lanes, and then it didn't try to correct me, so I didn't feel anything on the steering wheel. So I guess this is just what it does. But going back to the performance of it, it is not bad. I mean, here, if you're looking at Toyota Corolla, if you're looking at the Honda Civic, if you're looking at the Hyundai Elantra or Kia Forte, they're all going to be very, very similar. And the nice part about it, those are, you know, low 20s, mid 20s. Like this one's about $25,000. So actually, if somebody doesn't want to spend a ton of money but have a decent, reliable vehicle with long warranty, which, by the way, Hyundai and Kia's got the longest warranty in its class. I always keep on reminding that to people, that in addition of the good gas mileage and the pretty reliable vehicle, you do have a warranty that's 5 years, 60,000 miles on everything. Basically, this is your limited vehicle warranty, and then you also have an additional, well, not an additional, but total of 10 years, 100,000 miles powertrain warranty, and that basically covers your engine and transmission. So if that's what you're afraid of, that you're gonna have to have a costly repair repairing the engine of transmission, you're covered for 10 years, 100,000 miles. So that's a pretty good thing. Overall, you know, it's a pleasant vehicle to drive. The seats are a little bit on the tougher side. The material is not anything crazy or special. It is, again, it's firm as far as that. But, you know, again, it's not bad. You can get used to it quickly, right? Well, guys, thank you very much for watching. I like this vehicle. I'll give it a thumbs up. If you're looking for a compact sedan that doesn't burn a lot of gas and it's cool looking and driving, definitely take a look at one. If you like watching videos like this, do me a quick favor, click the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you have, thank you very much and welcome to the Carguy family. Click that notification button so you don't miss any of those videos, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.